Oh, hey, hey, hey. Sorry I'm late, Uchi. The roads were packed. It's just me. Long time no see, Uchi? Hahaha. How ya been? Swim much these days? Alter, hat einfach mal den Namen des Judges gedroppt. Ja, heißt einfach Uchi. Aji. El Aji Diouf. Ah, hello, hello. No, I've been so busy. Busy? Busy smizzy, Uchi? My boy, you have to make time to relax. Yes, indeed. Aji seems to be his nickname for the judge. I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. Sorry, but who are you? Ahaha, so you are right though. The attorney, I've heard good things about you, son. Thanks. So sorry about our little worthy giving you all the trouble, eh? You know, we shall all go swimming together sometime. Jolly! Little worthy? Mr. Wright, you don't know the district chief of police? Chief of police? He's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district. Name's Grant, Damon Grant. Pleased to meet you, everyone. So, to what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it? Well, it's worthy here. Look at the poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this. Hey, that's my sister's muffler. So Miss Star wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Miss Sky really was wearing that muffler. But to think that it was stuffed into that exhaust pipe. On Little Worthy's car, no less. Grant, nicht Grant? Ja, meine ich doch. It's really quite embarrassing even for us. But what's this? It's what you'd call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this. Chief, what kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth, how could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? Now wait a minute, Worthy. I've no desire to hear your excuses. I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Have a look at this document where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking that signature is there, Miles Edgeworth. That's not fair! On the day of the crime, I had... Your head's in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made. This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words. This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. Gah. The court accepts this new evidence, but I'd like to ask the defense a favor first. Yes? Just to be sure. I'd like to take a look at the blade of this knife. The blade, Your Honor? Well, I don't see why not. Could you open it up for me, I wonder? Yes, well, I think all you have to do is push the switch and... If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore. Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I wouldn't be able to point it at people anymore. Come on, just hurry up and open it. Alter, der Judge ist der Beste, wirklich. Er könnte seinen Hammer nicht mehr schwingen. Krass. Wow, don't scare me like that. I'm the one who's scared. Look at this knife blade. The tip's broken off. And this dark red stain. Blood? Switchblade knife added to the courtroom. Found at the crime scene, wrapped in the defendant's muffler. Small tag attached. This does not excuse the action of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself. I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us? About the split between the prosecutors and the police and this knife? Sure thing, not a problem, not even a little one, really. This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. A detective was killed at the police department. See? What a mess. The time of the crime, 5:50. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk too much about it. There was a murder at the police department, a detective. That's hush-hush information, Udji. We haven't exactly announced it yet. Wait a second, you said 5:15? That's the exact time that Detective Goodwin was killed at the prosecutor's office. 2 Morde zur selben Zeit an 2 verschiedenen Orten. Order, order, order! Anyway, we at the department were all flustered, as might well assume. We're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay? I think we understand the police department situation. Well, Mr. Wright, 2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places. The chances of that are really slim, scientifically speaking, of course. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness. Very well, however, keep your questions focused on the case at hand. Das heißt, wir müssen jetzt die Informationen, die er uns gibt, mit dem anderen Fall verbinden. Excuse me? Special? Hard to come by this particular knife anywhere else. Might that special thing be this little tag? Oh, sorry, Wrighto, but I can't say that now, not that. We've established that the knife in Goodman's chest was this knife. Now, why was there another knife at the scene of the crime? That's quite a mystery. And like a mystery, it's wrapped in something, a muffler. Spricht es laut aus. This knife was found on the scene of our crime. I think that makes it connected to the case, don't you? See, there's a lot of things that go on at the department. I can't explain. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, Wrighto. Maybe there's something about the knife that will give us a clue. Let's examine the knife while we can, Wrighto. Evidence that links this knife to Detective Goodman. I think perhaps the pieces are falling into place. I should try presenting the piece of evidence that's had me stumped all this time. So, how were things down at the department? There's a small tag on the knife. It says SL92. What's that supposed to mean? I'm not sure, but it reminds me of a similar code. DL6, maybe it's a case number. That's weird. What? I don't remember where, but I think I've seen something like this before. Something similar to what's written on this tag. It wasn't that long ago either. Maybe I should check the court record again. Lol, da steht auch SL9 drauf. Ha! This knife is special, but I can't say how, unless there's evidence proof a connection between this knife and Goodman. Victim memo found in the car trunk. Ha! Hat funktioniert. Immer wenn die Musik leiser geht, dann habt ihr das Richtige gemacht. Wait a second. At last, an honest to goodness objection. This knife. This has to do something with. This has to have something to do with Detective Goodman. Alter, richtiger Zungenbrecher. What do you mean? An honest to goodness. What do you mean from Aji? This is great. Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL92. And this is important. Why? Over here, we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim. Huh? What's this? 6 minus 7s, 12-2? Your Honor, it's upside down. Upside? The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turn it around and what do we get? What the hell? Aha! Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down. SL9. That's the same thing that it's written on the knife's tag. Ist echt super so. Order! Order! Well, Chief? Ah, well. I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, Righto. I win? Ah, what game is this guy playing? This knife was evidence in the case. It was stolen from the department evidence room. So, this knife was stolen? Yes, but on the day of the murder. It was evidence, you say. Was it in fact a murder weapon? Nice, nice, nice. Good show, little worthy. It was a murder weapon, as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved. So this knife was stolen on the day of the murder, and it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car. Hard to think there isn't a connection there. This knife was evidence in the case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. Ich glaube, es ist das Ticket. Hey, Envy. Ich glaube, es ist das Parking-Ticket. Ich bin mir nicht ganz sicher, aber ich glaube, es ist das Parking-Ticket. Worauf ich dann hinaus wollen würde, ist, dass wenn es wirklich gestohlen worden ist, dann muss es ja relativ früh gestohlen worden sein, um irgendwie transportiert zu werden. Weil das, wir haben ja schon festgestellt, dass, oder Phoenix hat ja gesagt bei den Ermittlungen, oder an Investigation Tag 1, dass das Parkhaus, das Prosecutor, der Parking Lot, so, das Office, dass es eine halbe Stunde vom Präsidium entfernt ist. Also vom Police Department. Dann müsste es doch das Ticket sein, I guess. This knife was evidence in the case. It was stolen from the department. Was kommt denn noch in Frage? No! Immer so spontane Übersetzung. Ich muss irgendetwas hier machen. This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. Something happened at the police department too, huh? You got a good look in your eyes there, Wright, my boy. Sharp, hungry. So something did happen, and why wasn't I informed? Why weren't you informed? Well, why didn't you ask? No matter, I understand. You were busy with, what with Lana's case and all. Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day? Bin raus, hab keine Ahnung, leider nicht mehr reagieren. Alles gut, alles gut. On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department. Well, that's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, Aji? I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator, do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested them, in fact. Just arrested? That was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Raito. I suppose I could help if you help me by giving me data on your case. Oh, good one. This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only. Where the victim was found, how the victim was killed, when the victim died. So tell me, where was the victim found? Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department. The evidence room? Wait a second, I have heard of that. The evidence room. Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now? Isn't that was evidence in the case that was stolen from the department? Okay. There's the connection between the two cases. You seem happy, right? Happy? Happy we just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. With this link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get again to testify about the details. It's not officially linked to this case here, so I can't talk about it much. Ist das gerade eine Übung oder joke der Typ echt rum in diesem Fall? Man weiß es nicht. Damon Gant ist sehr, sehr weird. Chief, the defense position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven. Huh? You don't say. Well, out with it, Raito. What's your connection? Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright. The connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found on the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victim had on him the case number of the knife's evidence tag. And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room. Indeed, there do seem to be many connections for it to be a coincidence. You two make a good pair. It took my man 2 days to find out what you deduced right here. Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and all. Can we get this information unofficially? Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all. What? Really? Who would have guessed? I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department, okay? Fuck. If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Ah, well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Oh well, I guess I might as well try to get what I can out of him. The victim's division, the victim's ID number, the victim's gender. Okay, how about you tell me the victim's ID number? Huh? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. Of course not. You won't tell me their name after all. We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is 5842189. Well, that's quite long. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts. 82. I can't do it. You didn't even get the first number right. Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything? The ID number of the victim at the police department. Ja. Ich hab doch hier den Ausweis. 5842819. Ja, wir haben's. This tells me something. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think. Meaning? It has to be what I think it is. But what does this mean? Der Richter ist der Beste. Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something. What does it tell you? Witness! Punkt, punkt, punkt. What is it, Mr. Wright? You are grimming like a schoolgirl on prom night. No, it's just, I got confused. And this is news? Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing, like you always do. The police department, the prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here. Oh, is it yours? No, Your Honor, I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Wrighto. Personal IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189. And this means what exactly? Huh? Wait, that ID number we heard from the chief earlier. That started with 82, huh? I've forgotten. You didn't even get the first number right again. The number the chief of police gave us was 5842189. PPK Richter. Wait a second, Wright. What does this mean? That's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that? Ho 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 ho! Sharp as a tack, Righto. Sharp as a tack. But wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot. Yet a detective Bruce Goodman was also killed at the police department. In the evidence room at the exact same time. That's impossible. So what we are saying is the same person was killed at the same time and in completely different location. Order, 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 Chief! What does this mean? No. What I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine, but I'm the prosecutor in charge of the case. Now, just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait. I said wait. Or didn't you hear me? The oversight, the grave error. Mr. Edgeworth, they are yours. What? How? How dare? We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you the news. Ach, wir wissen ja, was mit Meekins gemacht hat. Officer Meekins? Mr. Wright, where have we heard that name before? Wait, Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of Chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. Der Megafon-Typ. Hey, Johnny, grüß dich. Bruce Goodman ist kein Teilchen, sondern eine Welle. Deshalb befand er sich in beiden Räumen gleichzeitig. Interpretiert sich selbst. Ja, das kann natürlich auch sein. Oder er ist einfach Chuck Norris. Das geht dann natürlich auch in dem Fall. You don't mean him. According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe. But your officer, he told me, he said that report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident. Detective Bruce Goodman murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right on the top of the report. Gah! Why didn't your officer tell me? Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged. In any case, this is a serious error, a gross negligence of duty of your part, Worthy. But sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then No such luck this time, Worthy, or should I say, unworthy. What? Now what was the second rule of evidence law, huh? Well, Mr. Wright? Huh? Oh, well, it's, Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And how is this rule relevant? Normally, you submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list. So, what does this mean? I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. The connection was just proven by Wright over here. Good job, Wright, my boy. I was just doing my job. No. No! Die Namen sind schon von Anfang an die schlechten Worte getrimmt. Der Klassiker. Meekins. It seems we have come to the end of this trial. I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy. What's with all those rumors? You were even in the defendant's chair just this past December. I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part. Mr. Edgeworth, please, just give me 1 day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened. If it's the last thing I do. You'd better get results this time, really. You have my profound apologies, sir. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. I will grant 1 further day as the prosecution has requested. Will that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Very well, court is adjourned. To be continued. Und Freunde, ihr werdet mich jetzt hassen, aber to be continued ist auch das Motto für heute. Denn für heute mache ich aufgrund der Länge des Falls und weil dieser Fall wahrscheinlich noch ein paar Stunden dauern wird, Schluss.